Fired. Two words everyone loves to hear. But before we hear those words comes the interview. Today's video is part 3 in a series that's all about preparing for a job interview. This is part 3 of a 5-part series on preparing for an interview. Interviewing for a new job can be a huge source of stress and anxiety. If you're interviewing for a job in a non-native language, the stress can be even higher. In this video, you'll see me interview for a job. Throughout the interview, we'll discuss some of the most common interview questions and how to answer them. You'll also learn some basic information to get you started creating your own answers to these questions. Let's pick up where we left off in the previous video.
Can you tell me about a time when you suffered a setback and had to maintain your enthusiasm?
Common question. Can you tell me about a time you suffered a setback and had to maintain your enthusiasm? The interviewer may ask questions like this to get a better sense of how you behave and perform in certain stressful situations. The question may be about your actual past experiences or a hypothetical situation to see how you would respond. Here are examples of other questions that are similar to this one. Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult client or coworker. Tell me about a time when you had to respond to a crisis. Tell me about a time when you had to give difficult feedback. How would you handle a situation where you and your supervisor disagreed about an issue or course of action? You can see there's a lot of variety in the kind of way this question is asked, so it's impossible to know exactly what you might need to say. In the days leading up to your interview, practice responding to several different versions of this question every day. This will help build important vocabulary you might need in the interview, and will also help you feel ready to answer questions like these.
Can you tell me about a time when you suffered a setback and had to maintain your enthusiasm?
Sure, one definitely comes to mind. Last year, a project for a new toy was in its final stages after 2 years of work. As we were looking at the branding and working up a final marketing plan, a competitor launched a version of the exact same toy that we were launching. As the leader of the project, I knew that my reaction would set the tone for the group. I acknowledged that it was a setback, but challenged the group to think of this as a blessing in disguise. I asked them to go out and buy the competitor's product and make a list of anything they wished the toy could do that it didn't. It turned out that the list was pretty long. We added these items to our toy and launched a far superior product 6 months later. So in many ways, the competitor's product became the key to our success.
That sounds like a great victory. Now, what would you consider your greatest weakness?
Common question. What do you consider to be your greatest weakness? This question can be a tough one. You want to be as honest as possible when answering this question. This is an opportunity to show a future employer that you know yourself and are willing to work to improve yourself. Share a weakness like public speaking or attention to detail, fear of failure, and then talk about ways you've worked on improvement in that area. Here is a way to start a response. My greatest weakness is, it shows up in my work when, the ways I've worked to improve in this area are. Take a moment to think about something you've struggled with in your work life. Think of ways that you've worked to improve, any books that you've read, classes you've taken, and so on. These are the things you want to share with the interviewer when answering this question. Remember, the important thing is to show that you're aware of your weak spots and that you're already working at improving in these areas.
Now, what would you consider your greatest weakness?
Chocolate. Just kidding. No, my biggest weakness is public speaking. It's something that I've spent a lot of time working on and in which I've improved a great deal. I'm very comfortable in smaller meetings with my teams, but when I present an idea or concept to a larger audience, I still experience some stage fright. At this point, I can handle these situations professionally, but I would like to be more comfortable in these moments so I can really enjoy the experience of presenting rather than just survive it.
Fear of public speaking is a very common fear. I'm in the same boat on that one.
To be continued. We'll pick up from here in the next video in this series, where we'll discuss talking about the future and wrapping up the interview. I hope this video on job interviews has been helpful. There's nothing better than walking out of an interview feeling that you were well prepared. If you have interview-related questions or stories, please post them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Are you signed up for my mailing list? If so, you get free weekly emails in your inbox with English videos and lessons, as well as stories of American culture and my own life. Click here or in the description to sign up. That's it, and thanks so much for using Rachel's English. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe. Either click here or in the description. But don't stop there. Keep learning with my American English in Real Life playlist, my Ben Franklin playlist, or my Word of the Week series. Click on me to check out my channel where there are hundreds of great videos. Don't forget to visit my website where you can learn about my premium membership and online courses.